You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show.
And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami, with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's because we said so.
All right, well, yeah, this is because we said so. We got Seth in mic 1. We got Laz in mic 2. We got Lucas in mic 3. And we have DJ Elle in mic 4, rocking the awesome BWSS glass. And by the way, she brought us some beer. We know, you guys know how it works. Got to bring some beer. And because she is gluten-free, she brought us a gluten-free beer. So this is New Planet. 6% alcohol by volume, hoppy and citrusy. It says. I said it was kind of cidery. It's pretty good. I gotta say, I like it. It's a little on the cidery side, but you know, it's pretty delicious. So, do you normally drink beer, or you just you're getting beer for this? You got the gluten free. Do you drink gluten free beer generally?
To be honest, this is the first gluten free beer I have ever had, and I've been fiending for beer for like the last year. I miss it.
Okay,
and I'm impressed. I think it's really good.
I think it's pretty good too. When I left Miami back in 2000, what was it, 17 or whatever. And we went up to Maryland. I worked for a hotel, brand new opening. They needed a beverage manager, someone to manage all the beverage. And they had restaurants in there, but there was a lobby bar that I had. It was like a high-end lobby bar. And they're basically like, okay, go. So I had to like bring in all the beers, all the liquors, get the cocktails situated and this and that. But I did bring on a couple gluten-free beers. They were a lager, and I tasted a few of them, actually about 4 of them. I ended up choosing the one that I thought was most like it. And I was like, cool, we're so awesome, offering gluten-free beer to the people, and this is going to be great. And they weren't cheap, and nobody fucking bought them. Like nobody. People would buy one out of curiosity, and they would see it on the menu, but nobody would really buy them. But yeah, it's pretty good.
How long ago was that?
2017.
Okay, because now I feel like it's so popular. There's so many gluten-free people now.
Yeah, it could be.
So I feel like if you did that now, you'd probably have a few more sales.
But plus, that's Maryland. Like in down here in Miami, I would 100% could see that. Up in Maryland at the University of Maryland, stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, so you can get us at our website, BWSSpodcast.com. All the links are there. Just go there, and you can get to wherever we have a presence, I guess. We record on camera for those of you listening. All of the music is by the Unsilenced, and we record at Arcane Studios. So we do 2 shows a week. Monday or Tuesday is the Weekend News. That makes this one the Thursday or Friday edition. This one's probably going to be Thursday this week. So we're chilling. And BWSS Podcast episode 62, Chilling with DJ Elle. All right, so topics for today, launching a wellness company. So basically, you've had a wellness company for how many years now?
Well, I've been teaching Pilates now for around 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
The wellness company, it just came with everything. It's fairly new.
Okay. So Pilates, yoga, meditation, breath work, bone building, which I haven't heard of. I can't wait to get into that. Cbd offerings as well, which we're going to talk about briefly. And going gluten-free, which is something she had done recently, which we already talked about. By the way, don't forget our sister show, Market Peak, PEEK, Stock Market Show. Go to our website, BWSS Podcast. You will see the link to that. Basically talking about stock news, our stock picks, our predictions, all that. None of that is official advice. Just guys, you got to say it. Don't come after me. So, all right. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and jump in. So you've been living in Miami for how long?
Now it's been around almost 12 years.
Okay. And you moved from where?
from New York, and within the 12 years, I've been going back and forth to New York. Not as much in the last few years,
Sure.
but I used to go back pretty frequently. I
You
mean,
would DJ up there, right?
well, before I moved here, I was DJing in New York.
Sure.
And that was like a reason why I moved to Miami was I was like, I want to be a DJ in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
DJ at night, go to the beach during the day, and yay, it happened.
Sure. So you moved down here. That was the catalyst for moving down here?
I talked about moving to Miami for 3 years.
Okay.
And then I was able to make it happen. And honestly, it was the best decision that I made, and I don't regret it.
Sure. So when I moved down here originally, it was to be a model. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to model up here. I want to model down there. So it was a similar situation. What's that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking 1999. When I first met Benoit was the first person I met down. Actually, the second person I met down here, Stefan, who you guys might know, was the first. But yeah, I mean, it was a long, long time ago. All right, so what's that?
Do you want me to get the magazine?
Sure, dickhead. He's got some of my old print work back then. So, do you remember what was your first DJ gig down here? Or did you already have connections, by the way? Or you just kind of
I had a few connections,
Sure.
which helped me move down here like quicker than it would have happened, even though it took 3 years.
Sure. Well, it's leaving New York, it's scary.
It's
'Cause in New
very
York,
scary.
Everything if you can survive there, everything you could possibly want is there. And when you leave a place like that, the first thing you start thinking about is, okay, well, what if I need something to eat at 3:00 in the morning? Like, what am I going to do? Or, it's just little things.
Well, luckily I moved to South Beach and
Okay,
everything
sure.
was open till 5 a.m.
Fair enough. That's true. And then you could go to the mix. And by the way, actually, I know you mainly as, well, let's face it. So when we all worked together, me, you, Laz, you were DJing at the Fontainebleau, you would be playing, what was it? It was mainly like rock, right? Like, was it 90s rock?
It was rock and 80s.
Rock and 80s,
Classic
okay.
rock.
So, and that was what they wanted you to play. They brought you in to play a specific genre. I know you outside of that more as a hip hop DJ. So what do you gravitate towards? Like, what would you prefer? Like, or if you could be famous in any one of them, like, what would you choose?
Well, I mean, I started out as a hip hop DJ.
Sure.
That's until I die. That's always going to be
yeah.
my favorite genre of choice, like old school hip hop.
Sure.
I did learn how to DJ with drum and bass, though.
Okay.
I was a raver back in New York.
Drum and bass isn't easy to learn on.
Oh my God,
There's so much going on. It's like, where do I fit anything in there?
It is. If you could mix drum and bass,
Sure.
you could mix anything. I never actually DJ'd drum and bass out ever. I just learned how to DJ my records,
Sure.
mix with drum and bass. But when they brought me into Fontainebleau, they asked me if I could play rock and 80s. I got in there because I was playing at Live, which is the club in the lobby.
The club.
The club.
Sure.
In the lobby at Fontainebleau at Blue Bar. But I was like, I'll try it. And I honestly, rock and 80s was not my thing at all. But honestly, it was like a college education of rock and 80s.
Sure.
Because I became obsessed with everything rock and 80s. I wanted to mix everything. I ended up being at Fontainebleau as a resident DJ for 6 years.
Hell yeah.
And like,
That's what's up.
thank you. The only reason that happened was because I was like so obsessive, I feel like, with the music. And
Sure.
to me, it was so fresh because I never played rock in 80s.
So that was my next question. Did you have to like, holy shit, now I got to go find a bunch of rock and 80s music? Like, did you have it already in your library?
I had some, but I had to get a ton of rock and 80s.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And like anyone I talked to that was like older, I'm like, what's your favorite rock and 80s? Even like funk and disco, like anything from that era.
Sure.
And like, I think I was successful because I played it like I would play hip hop. I was like mixing everything or trying to mix everything. And rock music is different. It's not like hip hop. It's not the same beat throughout the thing. They're playing live music. So to mix some of those rock songs was like I was sweating. It's so difficult.
I remember I did a mashup of Kanye West, how could you be so heartless, and Neil Young's Heartless Heart of Gold. And it was awesome. They just happened to be in the same key. But the biggest problem I had is the Heartless Heart of Gold by Neil Young. It's not on the beat. Like there are times where, you try to just mix 8 bars and it just doesn't line up at all. So I literally had to take 4. I couldn't take more than 4 bars because they did not play to a metronome. It just didn't freaking line up. It was almost impossible to put this song together, which is exactly what you're saying. Like rock and roll, just because it's 120 BPM doesn't mean it's always going to be 120 BPM. It kind of wavers.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow. So yeah, you were there for quite some time. And you also were doing hip hop on the side and other places as well.
Yes.
Bodega, right? That was one place I remember seeing you.
Bodega, but it's funny because you asked me if I remember what my first gig was.
Yeah.
But when I first moved here, I was literally like the sushi restaurant DJ.
Okay.
I was DJing at 2 sushi restaurants, 2 different ones a week. And like, that's really like how I got my start in Miami DJing, was like doing like model dinners at sushi restaurants.
Sure. What kind of music?
Like hip hop,
Okay.
like open formatty, but like
Did these places have their own like little booth, or did
Yeah,
you
they
like have to
did.
bring the setup with the monitor, the speakers?
No, because I only had turntables. And
Sure.
even when I first moved down here, I didn't move down here with my turntables. And I didn't even know how to use CDJs when I first moved
Sure,
to Miami.
sure.
Like CDJs were like just
Just coming
starting-
out, yeah.
So thankfully I was friends with Scratch Academy in New York, which there was a Scratch Academy in Miami also close to
helps.
where I live.
Yeah.
And they had CDJs and I would do events for them in New York. And they were like, go practice at Scratch Academy in Miami, practice on the CDJs. So thankfully I had that because that's how I learned how to play on the CDJs.
Did you find any advantage to the CDJs? I know like in the beginning people were very resistant, like that's not DJing and blah, blah, blah. Like what was your initial reaction or thought on
It was definitely a learning curve, but I think it's awesome. And I like playing on CDJs more because with turntables, I mean, the older turntables, the pitch was +8 or -8.
Okay.
With CDJs, you could do like +10, +12. So you could mix like a larger range.
And
You
they
could
don't
do,
skip,
like,
by the way.
they don't skip. Like, yeah, exactly. You don't need needles.
Sure. Needles are expensive, right?
Needles are expensive.
How long do they last?
I mean, if you don't mess it up, like it could last up to a year, but it depends how much you're using it.
Sure.
Or God forbid you drop the needle on the record in the wrong way and the needle just breaks.
Shit.
Has that happened
Yes.
to you?
Thankfully, not that many times, but
Okay.
I mean, I've been DJing for over 20 years.
Sure.
So yeah, it's happened.
You have to,
Sure,
like, keep
sure.
spare needles with you like all the time? Like back
Yes, even now, because at Wood, I DJ every Wednesday on records. But I mean, I'm on Serato, but it's the Serato records.
Sure.
But yeah, like I still have my needle case. I have 4 needles, and then I have extra styluses, which is like the little needle that you slide on to the whole needle. I mean, it's a whole
sure.
thing.
I remember seeing you. I can't remember what. It might have been Spotify, but I was listening to a track, and you popped up with a Chambord like
Yes.
ad or something like that. That was like 3 years ago. I was like, wait, is that Elle? Like, what's? So
I was a brand ambassador for Chambord for like almost 3 years. I was on tour doing events for Chambord.
You
It
started
was
that
awesome.
when you were working with us. I
Yes,
remember.
I was
Yep,
working.
yep.
Yes. You guys helped me create my Chambel, which was my own signature cocktail.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hell yeah! I mean, Camilo's been on the show quite a bit. He was,
cool.
Yeah.
Hi,
He's
Camilo.
been on the show a few times. As soon as he gets us that shirt picture, he's the only one who hasn't actually just put the shirt on and given us the picture. We can wait. It's fine. Whenever you're ready, Camilo, just give me that. Even what was it? So when Antoine was here, I actually got a picture in front of his airplane. I want to get like next time he comes on the show, which I feel like could be soon because he was awesome. I feel it'd be cool if we can get us up in the plane beforehand. We'll bring the video up there.
We're all gonna go on the plane.
I think so. Why not? Come on, bro. It's not that white. Jesus.
No, it's not that.
Yeah. That's do you have a little bit of fear of flying?
I don't know about small planes.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll try it.
Maybe I'll just go.
I'll
maybe
go.
we'll just go around. We'll drive around on the runway for you.
Nah. If we're gonna go, we'll go, bro. Fuck it.
All right. So you basically the whole wellness company. So the Pilates is something you said been teaching for 5 years.
Well, I got into Pilates because I injured my back, which could have happened from DJing in heels, like 4 or 5 inch heels.
For hours.
Sure. I'd be DJing for like 4 hours a night or 5 hours. And then after I was done DJing, I would go out after with my heels on and my DJ bag. And yeah, I strained my back really bad, did everything.
Was this like a gradual thing that built up, or just all of a sudden something just kind of tweaked on your back?
I think it was gradual. I just didn't know anything about my body, or
Okay.
I wasn't conscious about things like that then. So yeah, for 6 months, I was like waking up crying in pain every day. It was like to the point where I was like about to take painkillers, which I'm like not into that stuff.
Sure.
I'm not even into swallowing pills. Like I have a problem like taking vitamins.
I don't take medicine either.
You know, so I mean, all right, so maybe I'm the weird one.
Unless
here.
I have to, like
Sure.
if I'm sick, but I literally try to stay away from anything like that.
I'm the same way, and I try to avoid that stuff, and that's where like the CBDs have like come into my life, because I'll try to use that and like not take Advil, ibuprofen, or any of that.
We'll get into that, because that's what I want to talk about last because that's what I want to talk about last. So last, because I'm just kind of curious about it, because I don't know that much about it. So the Pilates, you're like, all right, my back hurts, I'm done with this stuff.
So I started going to this woman once a week. It was $100 a session for an hour.
Okay.
After 2 months, all of my
Pilates?
back pain, Pilates,
Okay.
one-on-one sessions. So after like 2 months, all of my back pain went away.
Wow.
I was so impressed that I went and got 530 hours certified in Pilates.
Wow.
Because I could not believe that. Like
The
I was
impact.
waking up crying, like I thought my life was over.
Sure.
And like this. I didn't even know what Pilates was before this.
Sure.
I still don't know what it is. I
Well-
mean, I kind of have like idea of what it is.
Did you
but
know to turn to Pilates, or did you research like what
I
should I
was
do?
walking in Sunset Harbor, and my friend that's a trainer saw me walking, and he came up to me. He's like, "You look like you're in so much pain right now." I'm like, every step I take hurts.
Yeah.
He was like, "Go to this woman once a week for like a month and see what happens." And
Wow.
it worked.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And it turned out that my core was weak and I had no back muscles.
Okay.
So now I like literally have no back pain, thankfully, and it's all because of that.
Hell yeah. So you decided you wanted to teach and provide the benefits that you received. So you said it was how many hours was it?
530 hours to get comprehensively certified in Pilates.
So what does that entail? You going to Pilates classes and doing Pilates, or are there like tests that you have to take?
There's tests, there's anatomy. So comprehensively is I started with mat. So that's just on the floor. That was only 30 hours.
Sure.
So it's 10 hours of self-practice, 10 hours of teaching, and then 10 hours of observation.
Sure.
That's just for mat. Then reformer is like 240 hours.
Okay.
Which is like the machine where you lay down on, which was designed from a hospital bed for people that like couldn't move, so they could lay down and like work out to like strengthen their bodies.
Sure.
So that was 240 hours. So that was like 80 hours of like observation, self-practice. And then I got certified. The last module was tower and chair, which is like a whole other Pilates thing, like spine corrector and all those things.
So with the Pilates, so there's a place where you teach, correct?
Yes, I teach at one studio in Miami that has 2 locations.
Now, is that the number one or ONE studio?
It's called the Pilates Place.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one studio. Oh, Pilates place.
So they
Okay.
have 2 locations,
Sure.
but it's one studio.
Okay. So do you teach online at all? I don't know. I feel like you were giving were you giving classes online?
So I do. I just started very recently started my wellness company, eWWeWellness. So
How do you spell that?
eWWEWellness.com. So I'm actually offering live Zoom classes on the website with me. I have another girl that teaches yoga, and I'm going to start adding other trainers on there too, like for bar and like the meditation, breath work, bone building, like just anything for your body.
And now this is all through Zoom, correct?
Yes, this will be through Zoom.
I mean, that's what we use. Zoom. I got to give it to Zoom. Like Zoom,
They killed it.
they killed it. Like their stock went up like crazy in the beginning. Now it's dipping down because the pandemic's over. But I think a lot of companies, we were talking about this in Market Peak, the stock show. I think a lot of companies are going to keep people at home because it's so much cheaper than having these big ass office buildings and stuff. So, all right.
Supposedly people are productive at home.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you can sleep an extra hour because you don't have to like drive to work or whatever.
And you're more comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if I could get a job working from here, can you imagine working in this room all day? This would be awesome. Maybe without all the lights, that's for sure. So yoga. So you practice yoga, right? You have someone else that teaches yoga?
I do have someone else that teaches yoga on the website, but during pandemic, when this first happened, because I always wanted to get certified in yoga, I just never had time because I've been so crazy with like my DJ schedule and everything that I got online certified in yoga during the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
So I literally spent 200 hours studying yoga while I was like quarantined in my house, which was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
great.
yeah. All right. And meditation. So is that something that you teach or just, a practice of yours?
It's something that has like really helped me so much, and I really believe in it. And I try to do it every day, even if it's like 2 minutes in the shower.
Sure.
I just feel like it's so important. It's like we work our bodies out at the gym and like to stay healthy. I feel like we need to do that for our brain also.
Sure.
So unfortunately, it's not every single day, but I really try to like have like a normal meditation practice.
That's one thing that I have attended. And my mom's been trying to get me to meditate since my teens. So what's that, like 80 years or so? But I mean, I've been trying
to it.
Yeah, right. So, but I've been trying to, and I got Calm, the app, and where you just have all these different meditations, different links, different styles, this and that. And I haven't been able to like just follow through long enough. Elena meditates almost every day. She does yoga probably 3-4 days a week. I'm actually sore from yoga yesterday. So I'll switch around, I'll do a stretching one. And then once a week, I try to do like a power strength one, which is why I'm sore up on the shoulders. Cause this one had me like on downward dog for like 8,000 minutes. But I have to say, like, yoga has been awesome for me. I get headaches, I get migraines. Those of you following the show, you guys know that. And yoga has been really, really helpful. And just sometimes I'll have a headache by the time I'm done. There's no more headache because it just kind of stretches things out and everything. So breath work, what exactly is that a tie into meditation, I guess?
It does a little bit, just like full inhales, full exhales.
Sure.
Just like things like that to calm and work your lungs.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be teaching that, but there are people that I work with and are friends with that do that sort of stuff.
What's that, Les?
Oh, the watch makes you do that every once in a while. Like if I'm working too much, I'll be like, take a deep breath, relax, and then have like a breathing exercise for like a minute or two.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, on the iPhone, right?
Yeah, on Apple Watch.
Yes, I love that.
I would love to get an Apple Watch, but I just refuse to have an iPhone. I just can't do it. But I would love to get the Apple Watch.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm sure it is. My friend Steve has one, and he freaking loves his and talks about it. I remember we went for a hike like 5 years ago. He's like, all right, I'm going to take a picture of us. It was him and his son. And we were just out, doing bro stuff, his little boy. And so he's like, I'm going to take a picture of us. I'm like, okay, let's all get together. He's like, no, stand over here. So he puts his phone on this like log and uses his watch to take the picture.
Yeah,
Like,
Elle just did that just
dude,
now.
the coolest freaking thing.
He's one of those people.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago, though. Now I can imagine you probably take a whole freaking video.
When
Well,
my
now
first
it
one-
could tell you if you're like having heart problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is that's something they wanted to do when it first got released, but it had to be classified as a medical device. That's why they've been slowly releasing this stuff That way they don't have to go through the rigorous process of doing that, because in the beginning they wanted to do that back then, but they just wouldn't let them. So them slowly incorporating these things has finally allowed them to put that into the technology. All right, so bone building. What is bone building?
All right. So for people that are getting older, that they develop osteoporosis. So doing weight bearing exercises helps building your bones. So you can go from osteoporosis to osteopenia, which is you building your bones back.
Okay.
So basically, just like a quick example, you would be holding a weight, like a 2 pound or 3 pound, like not that heavy, in one hand, and it'd be like 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, hold, and then you would do it again. So this is for like people like
Lighter
60s.
weights, though.
Yeah. And then
I
you would
gotcha.
do like an ankle weight. You would hold a chair and work the legs that way. But yes, that actually helps you build backbone.
Interesting.
Very.
It makes
I'm very
sense.
into it. I really want to get certified in bone building.
Do you have somebody who you work with on that?
I actually have taken bone building classes
Okay.
with seniors.
Okay.
And I walked into this place like, oh, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to kill it.
Sure.
Oh my God, I was dying. It's a challenge.
These
It's
guys
really
are like,
difficult.
oh, look at that young whippersnapper over there.
But
They're so cute when they struggle, isn't it? Those young little whippersnappers.
it's actually like from Stanford. They're the ones that have developed it. So I do want to get certified in it, but I do kind of know 1 or 2 people that do do that.
So that being said, because a lot of certifications coming up here, if you were to pick your next certification, where do you feel like you'd be going?
Well, definitely bone building is
Okay.
up there. So
Because that's something you'd be able to take online, I assume.
possibly. It's just something that I really believe in, and I know that it works, and I
Sure.
know that it helps people, and I know that people are developing osteoporosis younger than they have been. Like women in their 50s are starting to develop.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's from
Probably diet, probably.
or the environment, but that's like a major killer. If you break a hip, like
Sure. That makes sense.
life isn't the same.
Sounds like
so-
everybody could benefit regardless of your age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So, all right. Well, so look, by the way, you're still DJing, right? You still,
I am still DJing.
So where do you DJ?
Right now, I'm at a few different places, but every week on Wednesday, I'm at Wood Tavern in Wynwood, which
Okay.
is amazing. It's still curfew in Miami, so I'm there from 8:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
It's outside.
What type
I
of
play
music?
old school hip hop,
There you
new
go.
hip hop, reggaeton. Depends on the vibe and who's there.
Reggaeton.
Yeah.
I gotcha. That's
It's
cool.
Miami.
Sure. Sure. So CBD offerings. So you've got some products you're coming out with, and you don't want to talk about them just yet because they're not here, which I understand. So I guess, so you had said CBD, there's a couple other molecular chemicals, whatever, that you'd mentioned as well. What were the other ones?
So the products that I'm going to be starting with.
CBS, right? ABC, is that what it
No.
was? Okay.
So I don't want to just do CBD has changed my life.
Okay.
Like,
How so?
so around the time when I met you guys, when I was DJing at Fountain Blue, I didn't realize it at the time, but I had really bad anxiety.
Okay.
Like it was almost like crippling anxiety.
Like what would trigger your anxiety?
I don't know, like going to DJ would trigger my
Okay.
anxiety.
Okay.
I remember that, and you would
Oh my God.
you would talk about it, but you couldn't tell. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
wouldn't
Like,
act like, you just
because
didn't.
like sometimes we'd all hang out after work, and you're like, oh my gosh, da, 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 da. And I'd be like, really? And then you'd be like, yeah.
So before I would even leave my house to probably go to Fountain Blue, I probably had 1 or 2 shots of tequila
Sure.
or vodka, which I'm not even a drinker like that. I don't even like drinking like that. And it sucks because I love DJing, and it sucks that I felt like I needed to like take alcohol to like go DJ.
Sure.
But like my anxiety was so bad. And honestly, I really wish that I had CBD at that time, because I wouldn't have, like, by the time I left Fountain Blue, sometimes I was like wasted almost.
Sure.
Because by the end of the night, like, and I'm like dealing with stress, and it's probably in my own head. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I want every single mix. I want every night, the whole vibe. I want everything to be awesome.
Sure.
And it's a lot of pressure. And also being a female, like I'm in Miami, like I never even wore makeup before I moved to Miami. And then I'm like in South Beach. And it's like, I just feel all this pressure to like look a certain way. And like people are like staring at me while I'm DJing. And it's like,
Sure.
I just felt like a lot of pressure. So
Sure.
I feel like that's a lot of where it came
And that's
from.
the thing in the Fontainebleau, well, maybe not Hakkasan because you're kind of in the back, but in Fontainebleau, when you're a DJ, you're like in the spotlight.
Yeah.
The lights are on you. Everyone can see you. You're in a vantage point. You know, you're kind of like an attraction there. So I could
And you're
definitely
dealing
see.
with managers. You're dealing with different personalities. You're dealing with people that don't know music.
People that
and-
want to like, you know, can you play this? And it's not even close to what you're playing or supposed to be playing.
Right.
Yeah. So how did CBD come into your life? Did somebody suggest it? Did you do some research? And when was it, by the way?
So it was about almost maybe 2 years or more. I was getting ready. I had like a really high profile DJ gig in Miami, and I'm getting ready. My mom was actually at my house, and I'm like stressing out. Like I have to get ready. I have to start doing my makeup, and I'm like, oh, I'm so stressed. Like there's so much pressure. And she's like, here, take some of the CBD. Like she got her medical marijuana card and she had CBD. And I'm like, no, like I can't be high. I can't DJ high. Because I was worried. I never took it. I didn't know what it was going to do.
Sure.
So she squeezes some under my tongue and I'm freaking out.
Is it an oil? Is it a liquid?
Yeah,
or?
it's a tincture liquid. So she squeezes it under my tongue and I'm freaking out. I think it's going to make me high.
So you already have anxiety and now you got
Yes.
this going on.
So it turns out I completely forget that I even take it.
Sure.
And I didn't need to drink. I had a great night. And by the end of the night, the next day, I went to go get my medical marijuana card.
Wow.
Because I was like, I need this. And then, so I get my medical marijuana card. I go to the dispensary here in Florida. I get like a 650 milligram bottle of CBD for $150.
Is that like a lot? I don't even know how much.
I mean, it's a bottle. It's $150, 650 milligrams. Now
if
that
you
I
only need
know,
a couple drops is all you need?
I mean, depending, but
Okay.
you know, like after time, you could like need a little bit more.
Sure,
you kind of like get used to it.
Sure.
So I'm like, this is so expensive. Like, cause for me, I'm DJing 6 nights a week. I need to like take this a lot.
Sure.
It turns out I have like a connect in New York who like does CBD marketing, which is like new. And she connects me with her friend that I end up buying 10 bottles at a time of like 650 milligrams, the same exact thing, for $350.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, like, I'm in the wrong business.
Well, I'm like, forget this dispensary thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
ridiculous.
Sure.
So then I actually started selling the bottles that I was buying to my friends also to like help them out and I guess maybe support my CBD habit.
Sure. Sure.
That's how it works.
That's what I mean. It's usually most people start selling weed because they don't want to pay for their weed. Yeah. It's like, makes
So
sense.
yeah, that's how me getting into the CBD happened. And it was great because honestly, I didn't need to leave my house and take a shot before I went to go DJ. I just took some
And
CBD.
what year was this? Because
Like,
CBD is kind of new.
yeah, I would say like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay. So, and at what point were you like, okay, oh, I mean, obviously you're been getting the bottles and selling them to your friends and stuff like that. You decided you kind of wanted to have your own products. When did that thought come out?
Well, I'm like meeting people in that industry. It's just like, it's serendipitous almost.
Completely.
It was like meant
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah.
Well, basically, eWWeWellness, my wellness company.
eWWEWellness, right?
Yes,
Okay.
eWWEWellness.com.
And you have Instagram with the same
thing.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, this happened over quarantine, and it's just because I don't want people to be like they just take the CBD and they're fixed. That's all that they need because
Sure.
it's not that. You also need to like work on your body. You need to do like yoga, Pilates, meditation, like stuff like that. You can't just like take a pill or a tincture or a gummy and like everything is fine.
Sure.
like everyone like has some sort of pain or like something, but you also need to like strengthen your body.
Sure.
So it's a mixture of both. It's not just like take CBD and you're fine. It's like also you need to do Pilates, yoga, stretching. So that's where this whole thing came into. Like, this is all stuff that I really believe in, and I'm really excited about it. It's just the beginning. I've literally studied the CBD. I've tried all different kinds. Like, I'm in it.
And there's a couple other chemicals that you had mentioned as well, right?
Well, I want to incorporate.
Do you want to talk about it? Because if you don't want to talk about it, we can keep it until after the
let's
products.
keep it because I'm really excited about this formulation because not. I haven't seen it out there yet.
We had a previous episode, and I think it was last week, we had spoken about you being on the show, and you have something that hasn't hit the market yet. So totally keep it a secret.
Yeah, don't say it now.
Yeah, as soon as it comes out. We'll talk about it.
I do have one product that I'm selling on my website.
Okay.
It's Elevated Wellness, which I was before eWe, but because I'm in the process of trademarking eWe, and while I was dealing with my trademark attorney, she was like, do not use Elevated Wellness. So I do have one product. It's the old name. It's actually a CBN.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of, it's 3,000 milligrams CBD, 500 milligrams CBN, and 500 milligrams of Delta 8.
What's CBN and Delta 8?
Those are other cannabinoids,
okay.
But this is more of a nighttime relaxing. So I would like recommend it more at night. Honestly, it's so strong because Delta 8 is what has the 0.03 THC in it.
Okay.
If you're going to be selling stuff that's not at dispensaries, it has to be under 0.03.
Okay.
So this is that, and it's actually made with cherry extract. That's the carrier oil, and that's the cherry extract actually helps it absorb into your system.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna be selling that again. I only have like maybe 30 more bottles of that left, but it is an amazing product, and it was my first product. But
save me one. I'll take one. Sure.
I will. But now I'm like actually formulating my own products. But this is an amazing product. It came from a lab in Oregon, all organic.
When do you feel as if your products, because you're kind of in the formulation stage, correct?
I'm in research and development right now. So I think within like 3 months, I could actually have a physical product.
Sure.
Which is amazing.
That would be awesome. Hell yeah. Does anybody else have questions, by the way? Just kind of, you guys aren't even here right now.
I could talk about this stuff all day.
She's saying everything. Every time I'm about to ask something, she already says it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we covered it all, and recently you became gluten free. So what was the story behind that?
And it's so crazy because my whole life I've never had allergies or anything like that. I grew up in New York eating pizza and bagels and like pasta and like never even thought about that. But like later in life, when I started getting older, I started like getting like brain fog and like just not feeling great after I ate certain foods. And then I just started developing like a rash on my elbows. It was like out of nowhere crazy. Went to the doctor. She recommended me stop eating gluten for around 6 months and see what happens. Stopped eating gluten. It took around 6 months for the gluten to completely leave my system, and it all went away. And I haven't eaten gluten since that day. And honestly, I don't get brain fog, and I feel like a lot better.
Wow.
Was it hard? Because when I think gluten free, I'm thinking, well, first of all, beer. That's going to be number one. I think about like cookies and donuts and burgers.
When I eat burgers, I get a lettuce bun.
I could do without like the bun on a burger. Dude, just give me 2 onion rings. That's all I need for a bun.
I know you can't do fried.
You can't do onion rings.
But
Why
you
not?
know what?
Oh, no, you can't do onion rings.
Fried.
Dude, I can't.
Yeah, they're like, I don't.
I mean, unless like you're getting gluten-free
batter.
Yes, but they have
rice batter. Yeah, rice batter.
They have
Does
everything
it still taste good?
gluten-free now.
Sure.
It does taste good.
We've been vegetarian for a while, but I mean, gluten-free, man, that's a...
You went vegetarian?
Yeah, we went vegetarian for like 6 months, dude. When you're up in Maryland, it was freaking great. It was tough in the beginning because you're hungry a lot in the beginning, and of course, just what you got to do to like cook a meal. It's not like, oh, throw some chicken on there. Oh, what are we going to have with the chicken? No, it's like you got to find something that's going to fill you up. It's going to be delicious. You know, you have to eat more of it, but you know, because there's no like just big pile of meat. But yeah, dude, it was great. One of the biggest things I learned right off the bat, and we've been thinking about going back, is I didn't have to take naps anymore when I went vegetarian. I would have to take a lot of freaking naps, like especially with as much as I was working. Sometimes I wouldn't have an appointment in the middle of my day, and I would drive 30 minutes home just so I could freaking take a nap, you know, before my next appointment, like 5 or 6 o'clock or something like that. Didn't have to take naps anymore. It was freaking great. So, but if you get the meal delivery at home, like you go through Home Chef or like Sunbasket, and you do the vegetarian route, they certainly make it a lot easier. Okay. So you've been gluten free for how long now?
It's been over a year.
Sure.
And honestly, in the beginning, it was really hard.
No
but
doubt.
like once you take all the gluten out of your house, it becomes easier. And now there's so many options. Like years ago, there wasn't. But I mean, if you go to Trader Joe's, they have like a million gluten-free options. And it's good. Like it's actually not bad.
It's not. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that's gluten-free that's delicious. It's just the gluten stuff that becomes like cookies. It's like, okay. But burgers, lettuce, you know, bacon, ketchup, mustard, cheese, I'm good.
You just have to pick.
Don't need the bun.
It's fine. I mean,
yeah. I got to have pizza and bagels like my whole life in New York. So
there you go.
The rest of my life will be
nothing
healthy.
at all. No gluten free. Nothing with gluten at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, thanks. No, I wouldn't be able to do that for myself.
No, I gotcha. No. Okay. All right. Well, I feel like that's pretty much all we got. Anybody else have any last minute questions before we take our break?
I mean, I thought it was really hard in the beginning. It just seems so difficult. But when you have to do it for your body, your brain like changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
So you just like get disciplined in that way.
I got you.
But like if I had to choose, no, I would not be gluten.
Sure.
Oh, really? Like, she's like, I'm doing it because I have to.
Dude.
I would go order a pizza like right now.
Elena made an apple pie 2 nights ago. She makes the crust from scratch. And,
oh, man.
Dude. Don't. Like, I can't, like, this just.
You're ruining her day, bro. Chill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Lucas's weather. Laz has beef. Lucas has beef.
Asshole.
Oh, you have asshole. Oh, that's right. You have asshole. And you got Laz's big exit. We got Laz's big exit. Laz's corner. Damn, it's just the whole half of the second half of the show. There's going to be nothing but Laz.
Oh, here we go.
So that's all right, though. That's all right. Everyone's fifth favorite segment. So, all right. We'll see you guys shortly. Boom.
I maintain my evil life.
There we go. Company hat and everything. All right. So anyway, we're back. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into Lucas's weather.
Research Lucas with the weather.
Is Lucas ready with his weather?
Lucas is ready with his weather.
Okay, Lucas. So where do we have the weather this week?
This week we have Cockeysville, Maryland.
Cockeysville, Maryland. Okay, we'll take that. That's Laz's favorite spot.
And Laz is actually the one that found it for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the one I sent you last week.
Yeah.
Cockeysville. Could you spell that for the listeners, please?
Cockeysville.
Cockeysville. Okay. Who came up with that one? I wonder. Cockeysville. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and start with Saturday because this will come out Thursday, but I feel like we'll just keep starting with Saturday.
Okay. Saturday, February 6th. Nothing. All right. March 6th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we supposed to be paying attention? I'm sorry.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, buddy.
We're still in February this time, at least for now. Oh, no. It's March 4th.
Sure.
You're slipping.
Yeah. Okay.
Saturday, March 6th.
Sure.
High of 46, low of 27.
Wow.
Mostly sunny with a chance of precipitation at 1%, with the winds coming out of the west-north at 10 miles per hour.
Okay. Sunny day, but it's going to be freezing. Just walking around on some ice out there. Okay.
Sunday, March 7th. High of 47, low of 32.
Ooh. Just out of freezing. Well, it's freezing, but okay.
Mostly sunny. Chance of precipitation at 2%, with the winds coming out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour.
Why even put it up 2%? It's going to be 2%. Go ahead. Monday, yes.
Monday, March 8th. High of 50, low of 34.
Okay.
Looking up. Mostly sunny with a 1% chance of
1% chance. Okay.
With the winds coming out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour.
Okay. Can't even fly a kite in that crap.
Nope.
Okay.
Tuesday, March 9th. High of 56.
Okay.
Low of 39. That's getting pretty warm. The snow should move.
Let me guess. Chance of precipitation. Say, I'm going to go crazy here, okay? 3%.
No.
Okay.
4%. With the winds coming out of the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour.
Okay. All right.
Then we'll round it off with Wednesday, March 10th. High of 60, low of 44. Partly cloudy with a 5% chance of precipitation, with the winds coming out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour.
Okay. I guess that's it.
And the snow should be out of here by then.
Should be all melted and everything?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, we went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% on the precipitation, and the temperature went from a low in the 20s to like a low around 40. So looks like everything's moving up on there. All right. So Lucas,
chair.
you got
what? You got beef?
You got some beef over there? What's going on, man?
Yeah, COVID.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, our sister got sick and tested positive for it. She was over here Wednesday, and it took a day, and pretty much told us Saturday that she was positive. So all four of us, my daughter, my nephew, my mom, and I, had to go get tested today.
So she found out about it Wednesday, right?
That's a little foggy.
Or that's when she took. So she took the test. She had symptoms.
She had symptoms like Wednesday night.
Sure.
Went to go take the test like Friday, and it came back Saturday.
Sure.
But this is
Saturday came back positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she saw you when?
I was out of the house, but she was here Wednesday.
Wednesday, sure. All right.
So
well, you guys are all negative, right?
But it's going to take 2 to 4 days to hear, so we're in quarantine.
And you're going to have to get tested again. Yeah.
And we don't have an oven, so I can't cook.
Oh, man.
Damn it. I realized that when you came back.
The oven had a candle burning behind it. So
like inside of it or something.
Something like that. All right. Well,
weird.
That's some bullshit, I gotta say. Hopefully everything will be it should be okay. Here's the thing. People are like, every time you get a sniff, everyone's like, it's COVID, but the flu's still here, colds are still here. I'm not saying don't take precautions, but even like I said, I had a cough here for a little while, so stuff is going around, but it doesn't make it fucking COVID. All right, so Laz.
Am I an asshole?
Yes.
That's the question.
Oh man, wow, that's crazy. All right, so
yes.
Here we go.
Because you have the big exit, right?
Yeah. So we'll go into.
Do we also have
Suck it?
Suck it?
Nah, no suck it.
No suck it. Okay.
Anyway, so I am leaving Amazon. Well, actually, my last day was yesterday. That I'm officially in the building. The rest is going to be like vacation and personal time. So,
Congratulations.
I actually like the place.
I know, dude.
Which
You
is
always
crazy.
get nothing but positive things to say. But one thing,
Just
you got to
financial.
work your ass off to make the same money. And I think it's time, unfortunately, that you just recaptured some more of your life.
Yeah. And honestly, the past 2-3 weeks, I haven't even been working as hard because of
We've been sitting down.
Well, we have no sitting down. We have to stand up at that job.
Okay,
Because I don't know why. Maybe because I know why now, because I see some people they'll just sit down and just pass out.
Sure. Sure.
So they kind of took like a good 3 weeks training me and like on whatever's going on with the system, with the logistics and stuff. And
this was after you asked them to, because you wanted to step
Well, no,
up.
they asked me because they fucked up something, and then they
Okay.
asked me to help to learn it, so I can.
This
help
the
them.
one where they're like, "Oh, you're the oldest guy to ever learn."
Yeah,
this
yeah,
shit."
that's what I told them.
Yeah,
Suck it.
exactly.
So, I didn't tell them I was leaving.
Sure.
So that's why I was like,
So you were still training in this stuff, and you still
no,
hadn't told them.
I'm done training,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm supposed to be replacing somebody that's leaving, also, and they don't know I'm leaving. And I almost felt bad, but I don't really feel bad.
You should always go out with grace whenever possible.
I mean, I'm going out company-wise. I'll be hireable, stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm not going to do that.
Sure.
But a lot of people, they're like, oh, yeah, see you next week. I no problem. See you next week, bro.
Oh, I see. I'm the same way,
Yeah,
dude. I'm not big on like, oh, I'm leaving. See you later. I'm just like, peace.
Well, I just told them I'm taking next week off for my birthday.
Yeah.
And then and I'm like, I'll see you the week after.
I don't think you're an asshole, dude. I probably would have done the same thing. What about you, Elle? Like, let's say it's your last day DJing at the Fontainebleau. Would you be like, okay, goodbye, everyone. It's my last day, or I'm leaving soon, or we just peace out?
Only to certain people that
That's
I like.
for
really
me, it
love.
was certain people.
Sure. Fair enough.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah, I got you.
I told 5 people out of like 150 people.
Sure.
Like, which is crazy.
So are you going out like Kobe, or like are you going out like Jordan? Jordan was just like Kobe had this whole tour and presence, and so was it Derek Jeter? Same thing. I got you.
I'm going out with like only the people that I'm close with. We're supposed to play basketball on Tuesday,
Sure.
and then we're gonna go to like some go-kart thing on Saturday. But I already talked to these people outside of work anyway,
Sure.
so it's like I told them, and they're like, "Damn, that sucks that you're leaving." Blah,
Do
blah,
any of
blah.
them listen to the show?
Yeah.
I know you. Okay. Because I know
Remember the
some
one
of them,
girl was mad. She was like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about the show." I'm like, "Yes, I did."
Well,
I'm
we
like,
talked about it actually, it was a video, the teaser I put out today. So good. So now they'll know they're special because they are one of the select few.
We'll see. They have to listen though.
That's true.
That's just she was just talking shit.
Because you're not going to be there to remind them. When is your last day? Or was it?
Yes, last night.
Oh, that's it?
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, last week.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so-
yeah. So when do you start your next one? Soon, right?
I started yesterday.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, it's the same thing. So
How many less hours are you going to have to work, and what percentage more money do you think you're going to make?
not really less hours per day when I go to work. I'm gonna work like 40 hours.
Sure. But you're
where
working more
Amazon-
than 40 at Amazon.
No, Amazon when I had to make the overtime,
Sure.
I'd work like 50 hours.
Sure.
50 to 60 hours. But when the regular weekly week, no overtime, 36 hours.
I got you.
36 hours, 3 days.
Sure.
But this is gonna free up. Like you saw, I sent you my schedule last
Yep.
week. It's like 8 hours. Like it's not even 8 hours. Some days, it's like 6:30 to 1. It's like I'll be working like 35 hours.
Sure.
and
what,
chilling.
what percentage more money do you think you're going to make?
Like double the money.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
that's it. Like
it's a
I mean,
no-brainer.
and it's crazy.
Dude, you
like,
held on for as long as you could.
it's not even holding on. I actually liked it, and I liked the way it was around how my life was. So
No,
that's
I
why.
get it. And
but it's
you
just-
held on to that as long as you could. And now it's time to, make some more money.
go back.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
Yeah, it's all good though.
So my job, working up in Maryland, I made a shit ton of money. And, I made almost $200,000 one year. And I just don't know. And I could go back to that industry. I'm not going to say what it was. I could go back to that industry, but it's like, it is a hustle, man. And I'm always I'm honestly, I'm at the point where I'd much rather, and I felt I'd much rather find a job that isn't going to be so much time and energy and time away and all this and that, and be happy just making half the amount. So,
But this is the thing too. When I was at the hotel before, I used to work so much so sometimes.
Sure.
But that's why like I'm not gonna be doing anything extra like before, because I had so much responsibilities, bro. Like I had to worry about the cafe. I had to worry about
yeah, you're like, I don't
room
want to be a
service,
manager.
mini bar. I don't want to do. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I want to
Yeah.
clock in, do my job, and go home.
Peace.
Enjoy my day. Hang out with my brothers. Hang out with Layla. Like just chill. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Don't
Sure.
want to. So with this, it's gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? Like especially since some of the shifts are morning shifts. So and they're good with the schedule that I needed for Layla. They call me back like 4 times.
Sure.
Honestly, they're like, "Yo, you're not coming back for real? Like, what's going on?" Like,
Sure.
I'm sorry, you know.
All
like,
right. If you guys
like,
want me that
if you
bad,
really want me to come back,
were you able to
then-
negotiate anything based on
no,
those
just
4
the days
phone
off.
calls?
The days off, and I told him I don't care about the schedule. Like
Sure.
I'm easy. I'm not a annoying like worker. Like, you know what I mean? Like an employee, I adapt to whatever's going on.
I got you.
So I don't have to deal with all that. So I'm good. Like 9 to 5 a couple of days, one night, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, as far as the whole,
Am I an asshole?
I don't think so. I'm just, like I said, I'm the same way. I'm like, listen, honestly, for that close, you'll reach out and ask what happened. As far as I'm concerned.
basically. No, the people I'm close with, no. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck
I
about
got
them.
you.
Yeah, like
All right. So, Elle, have you been an asshole recently, or do you have beef or anything? I know we asked you earlier. I just thought, now's your chance. Or do you have beef with anything?
Not really. I've been
Okay.
pretty zen lately.
Sure,
I've
sure,
been
sure.
Trying to be
I believe
like,
it.
Namaste.
I believe it. I don't doubt that for a second. All right. So updates. Myanmar still going at it, and actually, I think it was like 16 people died not that long ago. So still really protesting there. That's really Free Britney. I don't know if you guys watched Saturday Night Live, but Saturday Night Live the week prior, they actually did a whole skit on her. It was the opening one. It was actually really awesome. So she's starting to gain some momentum. So hopefully next time, Britney Spears can just get her own fucking life back.
did you watch it?
The documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch it.
It's worth a watch?
It's an hour and like 15 minutes. It's totally worth the watch. Okay. It's totally, because it's not just about that. It's like, when she was a kid and kind of how she grew up, and
course,
what got
you're
her to
all
the
over
point to where she wanted to like, shave her head. I'm sorry. What was that last?
You were all over
I an
that.
asshole?
I know that. You were all over that. Britney's having a documentary. You didn't care what it was about.
Dude,
Like-
because I'm enthralled by the fact that her father and several court cases henceforth or
Hey, we'll
like,
watch it. Don't spoil it.
But I'm just saying they just won't like give her fucking
Leave
life
Britney
back.
alone.
It's unbelievable. Jesus, hopefully that guy's like freaking best friends with her at
And
this
she's
point.
normal now, right?
I mean,
from whatever.
like I said, if you watch the documentary, there's one piece of like information or evidence or something that they're not letting anybody know. At least that's the extrapolation that they had made, that is just keeping this conservatorship going. But yeah, it's worth it. Like I said, New York Times has been doing a documentary series. They're on Hulu. There's one about the 17-year-old kid that hacked Twitter. So there's some pretty cool stuff in there. This just happens to be one of, I think there's like 8 or 9 of them. Once again, they're all on Hulu. So all right. So I guess it's time for everyone's 5th favorite segment.
Corner of positivity.
Yeah, man. I told you the whole second half is all about you. I mean, we have Lucas's weather, and then it's the Laz show.
I got this one from you.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
This is from CNN. A middle school schooler was insecure about his haircut, so his principal fixed it himself instead of disciplining the boy for wearing a hat.
Yeah.
So all schools have dress codes, funny stuff, whatever.
Sure.
And already know how kids can be mean to other kids,
100%.
how they dress, what they're wearing. So the kid was wearing a hat. You're not allowed to wear hats in school. Instead of them reprimanding him or making him get in trouble, the principal gave him a haircut.
Yeah.
Because he was wearing the hat because he had a bad haircut, which, I mean,
By the way,
we're boys.
it was a black kid. It's not like the principal came out with scissors.
yeah. I'm gonna get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So
I don't want people to think that like he just whipped out the freaking bar, the haircut chair.
So, dude, like cuts his own hair, and he used to be a barber as well, the
Okay.
principal. So, he has clippers in the
Yeah,
office.
dude, it's
I
funny.
was like, he's like, yo, I got you right now.
Picture,
I'm gonna hook you
I'll
up.
find the picture. The picture's great. It's just so cute, so adorable. This big guy just over there over this kid with the clippers, shaping him up.
Yeah, to make them feel better. Like that's cool.
That's totally
I mean,
cool, man.
a couple of things have happened to schools like that. Like there was this kid that everybody was making fun of his shoes. So this one kid who just had hella money to waste
Bought
or
his
whatever.
shoes.
Bought him a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
you know
the
what I mean?
guy, the sales guy, bought him the pair of shoes. Yeah,
They had the sales guy. There was the other one where like kids at the school actually bought it from. Like they were all on the basketball team.
yeah.
And kids were making fun of one of the kids on the basketball team, and they all put the money together and bought him a pair of shoes as well.
The reason I'm laughing is because I was thinking about, remember the one from Australia, like the Hells Angels type guys who are making sandwiches for the community?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Dan loves him some sandwiches.
But people have to remember last episode. People have to just leave people alone, bro.
Just leave people alone.
Everybody
have
does
no
not come from the
idea.
same walk of life. You have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea how their day was, how their life was. Like, you have just no fucking clue.
When I was growing up, we had we didn't have the most, but we didn't have it all. But we couldn't. I don't know. It was different from us. It was different type of bullying back then.
Sure.
Nobody was bullying you about what you're wearing.
Oh, we had it. Oh, when I was in high school, it existed for sure.
But if it's something stupid, but not
I'm
that kid's poor,
10 years older than you, so.
But were people bullying kids because they couldn't afford something that other kids had?
Sure.
Oh,
Now
yeah?
it's all on social media. You don't even have to it's crazy. Yeah, just leave people alone.
People alone,
just let people do what they're gonna do, and if you can't help them, get the fuck out of the way.
Yep.
So, all right, well, good job, man. We like that one. Any last minute thoughts? Anyone? Anyone? No.
Actually, with Elle, with your gluten, I just remembered Pizza Burger at Fontainebleau does have a gluten-free pizza.
Good
That's
to
cool.
know.
We actually have the cauliflower pizza that we get from Costco, which is delicious.
It's gluten free as well.
It's cauliflower crust. I assume it's gluten free.
Yes, those are mostly gluten-free.
Because Alicia, if we get DiGiorno, she doesn't eat that crap. But these gluten-free, I guess they are cauliflower ones from Costco. I mean, she devours those things. So, all right. Well, Elle, any last minute thoughts? Anyone? Laz? No. Lucas? No. Elle? No.
Well, with the whole bullying thing, I just feel like you should just treat everyone how you want to be treated. And vice versa.
I mean, there's some people out there that are masochists and probably are used to, a certain way.
It would just be such a nicer world.
It would be. It certainly would be. That's for sure.
Jokes are fine if we were ranking on each other.
Yeah, jokes are good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not
That's for sure.
Look at Seth's head.
Look at Seth's head. Dude, look at Seth's head. You already talked about how great my hair is, so there's nothing you can say.
Bro.
So my hair is awesome. So, all right. Well, Elle, it's been great having you. I thought you were awesome. This is a really good episode. I think people got a lot of great information. So tell us your website once again, please.
Awesome. You can check me out. The website is eWWeWellness, eWWEWellness.com. There's live classes. It's just the beginning. There's going to be so much more added onto the website. Also, same thing on Instagram at eWWeWellness.com, eWWEWellness. And then I'm on my Instagram, DJ LMIA. And I also have another Instagram, my Pilates. It's Elle Pilates, ELLE.
Do you have links to all that stuff at your eWellness for the Pilates? Like your Instagram is all that there?
Yeah, everything's pretty connected.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I think it was great. We'll definitely, I don't know, if it's going to be a few months before your products come out, if you want to come on beforehand, I mean, you follow the news and definitely it was great having you. So if you want to come on beforehand, definitely hit us up and let us know for sure.
Awesome. So, thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
Hell yeah. So it was great, So, all right, this is Seth in mic 1, Laz in mic 2, Lucas in mic 3, and we have DJ L in mic 4, and we will see you guys next week. Boom.